Assalamu alaikum. First lesson after the election. Inshallah, Allah will give what everyone deserves. Take care of everyone because only He knows what's in the hearts. Now, today I'd like to give a few brief hadiths and some Quran about showing off. And believe it or not, it's the exact same human condition from the time of Prophet Muhammad as we're in right now. So what's better than to give you the hadith direct, and then we can discuss it and see how nothing has really changed. So let us begin now with the hadith of Prophet Muhammad. And we can see clearly here that we have Quranic verses. So let's do that first. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم ولا نساء من نساء عسى أن يكن خيرا منهن. That's from Surah Al-Hujurat, where Allah says, "Oh, you who believe, do not put down any people over other people. It could be that they're better than you. Also, you women, don't you do it, you women on other women. It could be that they are better than you." Now this word asa, ayn sin ya, when it's used in Quran, the scholars say that it means is. So now it may be, because some asa can be maybe, but they say that it means that's what it is. Don't put other people down. They could be better than you. And here is another one. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعرفوا أن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. This is also from Surah Al-Hujurat. This is saying don't feel any of you are better than others because I created you male and female and I made you groups. Shu'aban wa kaba'il. Those who break away from each other, those who come together with each other. Now, and it's why? The translation says nations and tribes. That's not a good translation. So if you're reading it in Arabic, shu'aban wa qaba'il, literally, some of you will join, some of you will separate. Li ta'arafu, so that you know, in akramakum 'inda Allahi atqakum, the best of you for Allah are those who are the most pious. Inna Allah alimun khabir. Now let's see the words of the Prophet Muhammad. The first one will be in Sahih Muslim, min al-Hadith Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اثنتان في ناس هم بهم كفر الطعن في نسب والنياحة على ميت. Here, Prophet Muhammad said, two things in people have in them kufr. The first one, ta'an fi nasab. When you put down and you degrade somebody's relatives, nasab means your blood. Wan niyaha alal mayt, and when you wail over the dead. Another one from Prophet Muhammad, fi Sahih, also Sahih Muslim, An Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam qal. Now, before we had three, now we have four. Arba'a min ummati min amr jahiliyyah. Same thing. Four in my ummah, meaning ummati, meaning Muslims, is from the time of ignorance. La yatrukunahun And they'll never leave it. You see, so Prophet Muhammad is telling us now, these 4 behaviors are in the Muslims, and they're not going to leave it. فخر في الأحساب وطعن في الأنساب. So here he brings forward another quality of jahiliyyah, of ignorance. فخر في الأحساب. Before the other one we had mentioned previously, وطعن في الأنساب. So here, Prophet Muhammad is complaining and telling us it's wrong and don't do it, to be proud of your blood, your ancestors, your people. Ahsab, fakhr, showing off. And then ta'an fil ansab, and then degrading others. Wal istisqa binajum wan niyah. Okay, istisqa binajum means that you are stargazing and you're wanting to get, istisqa literally means getting rain by looking up at the stars. And the last one is the same as the previous, niyaha, again, wailing over the dead. Now, there's more, but I want to stop with this so that I can explain it to you better. You know, my mom had some Italian in her. My dad's side was fully Irish. But they would always talk about what their ancestors used to do. They would hire mourners in both Italy and Ireland. And they would pay them to come and scream and wail over the dead, so that people would believe that there was a lot of love for these who had passed on. Perhaps there wasn't. Perhaps nobody even cared. Perhaps nobody hardly came to the burial. However, they wanted people to think otherwise, and so that they would do this. And then this wailing, Prophet Muhammad has forbidden it. Now, we have more who yeah, but you know, I want to stick to what you can relate to, because some of this stuff, I don't want to go too deep into it because of this wailing, this niyaha. There's 3 different hadiths that talk about it and how it's really bad and we shouldn't do it, and yet people still do it. Now, interestingly, 3 different prepositions are used for this, and I just want to give you a little bit of like the hardcore advanced stuff, just so you'll see how important Arabic is and what the scholars do when they're using it. Here, we're saying 3 prepositions are used regarding the kufr. Remember I said there will always be these qualities, and it is kufr. So they're telling you min is one preposition, meaning from. Another preposition is fi, meaning in. And another preposition is be. So the scholars are saying if you're going to talk about this, or if you're upset about it, that Prophet Muhammad is saying these qualities indicate, and here in the Hadith it says, humma bihim kufr. So the scholars are saying, well, you know, bihim kufr means partly they're kufr, and fihim kufr, and minhum kufr. All of these prepositions have a very slight, you could say, it doesn't mean you're a real kafir. It just means there are pieces, whether it be the preposition min, or the preposition fi, or the preposition be. You don't want to give up on the person altogether, because each one of these means partly. So you don't want to say they died kafir, but they do have the quality of kufr in them. And so you want to be aware of this, because it's all revolving around the subject of degrading others and pumping up yourselves, whether it be your tribe or your clan or your family even, or just it's bad. It's bad. And that's why Surah Al-Hujurat concentrates on the behavior of what Muslims should act like and not to be doing these things. Here we are. Here's another Quranic verse. We can close with this so I can make it brief because I have some more on another topic. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن الناس من يعبد الله على حرف فإن أصابه خيرا اطمأن به وإن أصابته فتنة انقلب على وجهه خسر الدنيا والآخرة. Allah says here of the people, min and nas. You see there's the preposition min again, which can mean from or a part of. They worship Allah on the edge, ala harf. If good comes to them, they are so satisfied with it. But if they're struck by usaba, fitna, a fitna is something that causes you strife. Depends on the level of the fitna. It could be a very huge tragedy, or it could be a terrible irritant that just won't go away. Whether it's this or whether it's that. Anqalibu ala wajhi. He's like, oh, a tragedy has struck me. How can this happen to me? Inqalab, it means to flip over. And then Allah says, if you're going to be like this, khasir ad-dunya wal-akhirah. Because if you're going to take your deen that way, if you don't get what you want, you are khusran. You're the one who is the loser. So, you might think you're far away from this. You might think, no, that's not me. Those are my ancestors. No, it's still very much us. So every time you hear someone say, oh, did you know that his dad embezzled money and was in prison for a while? Oh, did you hear about his uncle? How he beat up his wife? Oh, no, you can't hang around with that family. One of the sisters is literally a prostitute. Did you know? And then you will go on and on to each member that you might want to say dirt about. This is common. And then you'll flip it over to your own self and praise your ancestors and tell you about all the wonderful deeds they did throughout their life. This is what Allah says, sign of ignorance. So I'm just delivering a message here because we all have done this more than once. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.